Everybody, Megaro, third one, back here for FSI DFS. We have a truck race tonight. I know most of you are probably going to be watching the football game and didn't even realize there's NASCAR, but we're at Bristol. We've got a race Thursday night, Xfinity's tomorrow night, and then Cup is actually Saturday night, so we'll have Sunday off this week. So um, just finished up qualifying and everything, so I just want to get a quick video out to you. So Derek Cross had the pole. He's had a couple poles on dirt tracks and concrete tracks. Usually runs really well here. The thing that I'm really going to look for at this race is going to be Toyotas, because if I look at the last one, Chandler Smith won, Enfinger Toyota, John Hunter Nemechek Toyota, Stuart Friesen Toyota, Sodders, who's not around anymore, Toyota, Hocevar is there at 6, Crafton Toyota, Ben Rhodes Toyota. And the other factor here too is there was a lot of carnage last race. 23 on up finished the race, 24 on all the way back all had accidents, engine failures, part failures, things like that. There are two key things. Is there's going to just a very tough build because John Hunter Nemechek hit the wall, blew a tire, and has to go to a backup truck, so he didn't get to qualify. And Zane Smith, like the back end of his truck or something, fluid was going out, so they got that fixed. They didn't get to qualify. So you got two chalky guys down at the bottom. So are you going to pair Cross with him? Probably not. I think he's more of a GPP because here's the dilemma. Chandler Smith won last year here. He won 2 out of 3 races like right before the break ended, before they had the last cutoff race here. So I think Chandler Smith is going to be more priority because I think he's going to go out there and dominate early. And I think you play either Zane Smith and Hunter Nemechek with him, or I don't think you can play both of them, because if you play all three of those guys, you have 5,200 left. So then you're going to be taking, please don't take Spencer Boyd and Josh Reaume. That's just a bad decision. If you're going to go that route, then please take like Lawless Allen or Blaine Perkins, like somebody up in that range. They're much better drivers and much better equipment. But anyways, let's just get back to the breakdown. So Derek Kraus, GPP, I think he's going to be highly owned. I think he might lead a couple laps, but I think Smith is going to get ahead of him. Friesen's there also, which also concerns me because Friesen is a really good driver. Smith is up on points. They've got 3 more races, and then they cut it in half, and only the 4 goes to the final race in Phoenix. So Smith has a decent lead right now. Friesen, and it's only about 20 points that separates like probably 8th to like 4th here. So that's why, and with Zane Smith and Nemechek starting in the back, those are 2 drivers that are in a better position. If any of them have a couple bad races, then this could be wide open. So Friesen runs really well here. He's the last race here was on dirt, which he was really good on also at Bristol. So, and he's in a Toyota. Grant Enfinger, I have him as a GPP only because they made a point to talk about in the qualifying and practice that the reason that Hocevar and Crafton didn't make it, it was very close to the cut line. The differentiation came between stage points, and they just didn't accumulate a lot compared to the other drivers that did get to move on. So I just wonder if Enfinger might be one that, looking at stage points, I know he does usually run well here, so that bodes well for him. You can't play everybody in the top 5, so I think he's more of GPP for me. He's in a Chevy and not a Toyota. Heim is in a Toyota. He's a rookie. He's going to, I don't know if he's driving the ARCA race here or not. Didn't pay attention to that, but I know he's an ARCA driver. I know he has driven here before. This is his first time in a truck here. He has won this year, so, and again, it's a Toyota, but I just think that he might just have to yield to some of the other drivers on his team that are in the playoff. So I don't know if he's going to go out and win. I think he just needs to be a good teammate here, but he's a rookie and maybe he doesn't care. So we'll see what happens. But I think you can play him in cash, but I don't think his ownership's going to be down because he's the most expensive guy, or one of the most expensive guys here. So Ty Majeski, I think he's going to be highly owned also, but again, even though he's a Toyota, I think I'm just going to, he was 3rd in practice, but I think he's more of a GPP, just looking at the context of everybody else up here. And I'm going to fade Eckes just because, again, I think the same thing as Enfinger, that he might just be looking for stage points over trying to win this race. And so He probably can finish in the top 10, but I don't see him getting up there and like dominating at all. He's only 17th in practice, so that concerns me a little bit too. Same thing with Empfinger. He was only 16th in practice, so they qualified well, but that's only because some of the other guys had really good practice speeds. Tried to push it too much in qualifying, and there's a lot of wiggle and wobbling and moving around. So Bailey Curry, actually, these Nice trucks have been solid. They had a lot of speed in practice here. I know he's 21st, so he qualified really well. So he's GPP. He's not a fade, even though he's starting way too high up, only because we've seen cheap drivers like this just hang around that qualified well, and he might finish in the top 15. So at 62, you're going to need some value. And GPP, I don't think he's out of the question, so don't take him out of your pool. Matt DiBenedetto has had a lot of experience here in Cup. He was number one in practice, so didn't qualify as well. But I think in cash at 8,000, if you can fit him in, it's kind of in no man's land, but it might be a little different way to go. So I think that works well. Carson Hofstede is a GPP. I know he is heartbroken. It was very sad that like just by like a fraction of a point in one pass, like he almost had that race, ran out of gas last time. I think he's going to win. I don't know if it's going to be this year, but I think that he's going to try to play spoiler. But in this race here, even though he was top 10 last time, I don't know if 19th in practice. I think he's a GPP for me. Ben Rhodes, same thing. I know he's still in the playoffs, and I think he might be stage point racing. This team just hasn't clicked. I know he won the dirt race here, but I don't think that matters much. It's a different surface. His team is just declined in performance throughout the rest of the year since like that peak where he won those races. So I'm just not. I don't even think I'm going to play him tonight here, or if I have a GPP, it's going to be like 10%. Ankrum, he said this is his favorite track. It was Waltrip's on the broadcast. He had a dinner with him or something, or met him out someplace and said he loves this track. So definitely a cash play here. He's in a Toyota like I like, and he's got some place differentials here. So I think I'll be playing some Ankrum tonight. Dean Thompson might be starting a little bit too high up, 27th, but these Nice trucks were fast. So GBP, I'm not completely writing him out because 5,600, you might need him. I think Red House Cruz is going to be a very valuable play here. He's another young driver, did really well in practice here, qualified well also, his truck looks decent. So if he can keep it off the walls and not wreck, then I think he'll be good. Cash at 6,500, definitely somebody that's a great value play here and think it'll be highly owned. Jay Garcia also, I think he's more of a GPP, but we've seen him come out and have some actually really good runs, finishing in the top 10. I think he's got a bright future in the sport, and I think that he might have another solid night here tonight. Crafton out of the playoffs. I think he wants to play spoiler in a Toyota, finish the top 10. I think he's a cash play also. If you can get to the 8K range, I think I like D Bendo a little bit better just from what I see in practice, but Crafton has a little more place differential and he's a Toyota. Tanner Gray, I think will be proper too at 7K. Another solid practice was 6. So Haley Deegan, GPP here. You never know. Like 18th, I wish she was like more like 25th. But if you end on her and she's the last person in your lineup and you already have Kruth in there, then I think you're fine at 66. Colby Howard, he was very strong in practice at 4th speed overall, had pushed a little. He's one of the ones that pushed it a little too much in qualifying, had some wiggles there and didn't qualify as well, but I think he's solid also. 74. I'm going to put Jack Wood as my prime play here. I know he's not a Toyota. I know he's not the best racer, but he's 5,900. He is right in the middle here. Like he's not starting too high at this value post, and doesn't have anything that concern me. He's 14th in practice. So I'm going to lock him in as my value play and my prime play there. Connor Mosaic, not interested in fading him. He's starting too far forward in this Brett Holmes one. Blaine Perkins, we usually fade him here, but I think GPP, if you need this 48, if you're trying to go with like Chandler Smith and Nemechek and Zane Smith all in the same lineup, you're going to need that value. And I think he works for that. I'd rather have Lawless Allen, who's starting right below him. Again, just hope for some attrition in the field behind them and that they are actually finish in the top 25 here. Chase Purdy, GPP, starting a little too far forward. He was a Toyota, which I like, but he wasn't great in practice. Jesse Little, play some Jesse Little tonight. It's his last race. He's retiring. He's taking a job with NASCAR to do different things on site. So this is probably the last time you're going to see him racing. So I think they're going to do everything to want to give him a good result. He looked decent in practice, so probably should end up in the top 25. 6K is not a bad price. I'm not saying you lock him in cash, but just play some Jesse Little tonight. Tanner Gray, again, I think he's going to be super popular. He didn't look great in practice, but he's usually pretty good at this track. And this David Gillian truck is decent also. So I think, he's someone you can also look at in cash. Caden Honeycutt, GPP, he almost wiped out a couple times, like really pushing in qualifying, and they were excited for him because they said this is what you're looking for in a young driver that just wants to get out there and go. But I think he might be the second one to wreck out tonight after Josh Ray. Parker Klingerman, love this play here, 8,700. If you can get to it, a lot of place differential. I like it better than Crafton and even Devin Datto if you have that much. A lot of place differential, runs well here. I know he's only 25th in practice, but I think he can probably get up into the top 20, get you at least 8 place differential points, and he's a good veteran driver. So like him here. Timmy Hill, he's really good here in Xfinity. Either he or his brother, but I just know the Hill family. So I think they know a little bit about this. Wasn't great in qualifying or practice, but is another Toyota who have been performing strong here. So I think he's a cash play down here. Chris Hacker, he pretty much spun out at the end of his qualifying lap, so he's a fade for me. Leland Honeyman is not even in the field. Austin Wayne Self, I like him also. 68's a little bit pricey for down here, but a lot of place differential. Veteran driver, does pretty well also. Spencer Boyd, not interested in. He'll probably wreck out. And like I said, Josh Rayum finished dead last time here. His 43 truck's not bad, but he's a bad driver. He was in an accident. Then we come down to Zane Smith and Nemechek. If I have to take my choice, I'm taking Nemechek just because of the Toyota. And like Zane's, like he's in a backup truck. It's probably identical to his first truck. He did get some practice time. Zane Smith didn't get much practice time because the truck broke early. So it's your choice. Like I said, maybe split your cash and play one Nemechek and Chandler Smith line, and another Zane Smith, Chandler Smith line, and fill with all the values that we talked about. So if you have any questions from the comments below, hit me up at Twitter, Megalor31. Look for TK and I to hopefully get Xfinity and NASCAR content out to you sometime this evening and tomorrow evening. And if you want more information on FSI DFS, you can check out the descriptive video. Everything's there. So thanks for watching. Please give us a like, subscribe to our channel so we know all our videos are coming out. And good luck in your racing tonight. And we will see you next time.